Hey Jesse, and a special welcome to anyone else that might have stumbled upon my video. Today we're creating a brand new game of survival in the world of Oxygen Not Included. This will be an all achievement run with the intention of sharing my psychology, tips and tricks that I use to get through the achievements into the late game. I'm doing this for my little brother Jesse, who's only just recently discovered Oxygen Not Included and fell in love with it the way I did from day one, several years ago. I'm super excited about the progress they've made and the new updates are just taking it to a whole new level. It's really cool. As we get into it, I'd like you to know that I've got a very specific strategy that I use, which revolves around getting the 2 or 3 achievements that are kind of handicapping the early game. What I mean by this is, I will go into it a little bit deeper when we look at the achievements, but I need 3 guys that are really strong at 3 specific tasks, namely researching, digging, and ranching. Come ranching. Alright. Now, give me a second. I'm just gonna see if I'm happy with these traits. Okay, this is terrible. Loud sleeper means I can't share a barracks, and quite frankly, I don't want that. That can be good. That's fine. This is perfect. Alright, cool. We're gonna name our duplicates Jesse, the scientist who discovers new things. We have Marco, the digger, who breaks through barriers. And then we'll have Claude, the critter whisperer. Cool. This will be our family. Perfect. So without further ado, let's dive right in. Alert! I've awoken at the target location, but colonization efforts have already hit a hitch. I was supposed to land on the planet's surface, but became trapped many miles underground instead. Although the coordinates are not ideal, the conditions are not ideal, it's imperative that I establish a colony here and begin mounting efforts to escape. Cool. The very first thing you do, naturally, is to pause the game and just view your surroundings. So what I look out for are these little pockets of life. That's very useful. We also look for our water, which is incredibly important. We have dirt on this map sufficiently, so we don't really worry about that too much. Now, before we begin, let us just have a look at the handicap achievements that I mentioned earlier. First of all, we have the super sustainable, which says we are required to generate 240,000 kilojoules of power without using any coal, natural gas, petroleum, or wood generators. So they want us to be clean energy or green, which means we can use the running wheels, manual generators. We can use the hydrogen generators. We can use steam turbines as well as solar panels. It's alright. It's tricky, but it's alright. Next up is Locavore, which says that we're not allowed to plant any food in planter boxes, farm tiles, or hydroponic tiles until we've consumed 400,000 kilocalories of food, which on default settings means 400 meals have to be eaten before they can plant their own food. Carnivore is very similar. We have a handicap on 100 cycles, so for the next 100 cycles, if we don't achieve this, that means our game is done. We won't be able to get this, and it won't be an all achievement run. This requires us to eat, again, 400 meals of critter meat before the 100th cycle. Now, it's actually interesting that you can kind of combine them, sort of, because if they only eat meat for the next 400 meals, that'll also tick off the Locavore, which means that focusing on meat, early game food, is the utmost importance. And that's what we're going to do, which is why we have Claude. Perfect. Let's have a look. I'm going to need to set up a place for water. I'll probably want to tap into this tank for water. So let's give them some movement space. There. I'm gonna prioritize. I want this copper. 329. So if they dig that, that'll become half. It'll be 150. I'll need to dig this one as well. The reason why I'm doing this is there's a gap here, which means as soon as this is exposed, this little bug of ours can escape. Now, I don't want that. You see, shine bugs are creatures that emit natural source of light, and bristle blossoms, these little plants over here, are plants that require light to grow. Now, because we have our restrictions on our food, we're not allowed to plant any plants and things, but we can maintain the natural environment, which will still feed us a food every 24 cycles. Now, I know that's not terribly great, but we do have quite a lot of them in this area, and that sure does carry us. We also have several other strategies we'll employ as time goes, but for now just know that my intention is to ensure that we preserve these pockets as best possible. Okay, we can skip ahead, and I'm gonna want to bring this down here. We'll also want to create airflow next to our ladders to make sure that any oxygen that's breathed out into carbon dioxide gets to travel down because of the airflow and the air pressure. Our guys have got their metal tiles, so perfect. One there is all we need. Wait a sec. Yeah, it's fine like that. I'll just make this a high priority, and also need them to really prioritize getting down here, because down here we're gonna want to put our pitcher pump like that. Cool. We can also start planning out where we put our bathrooms. I guess this would be a decent spot. And we're gonna put down one wash basin, one outhouse. That should be fine. I'll also want to put down an area for them to sleep, which I think would be perfect over here. 1, 2, 3 beds. And that should take care of our requirements to start for the first cycle. I don't need any messages, that's all good. Y'all just do what you're doing. Our pitcher pump's up, so now they can just come and grab water whenever they need it. Water that we need for our wash basins, because whenever they take a poop, they're going to need to wash their hands. When they poop, it creates germs, and if they don't wash their hands, they'll carry those germs and touch everything where the germs will spread to anything they touch. We also want to make sure that we set both of our outhouses, both of our life support items here, and I suppose, is it life support? I'm not sure. But we set them to a high priority so that if the outhouse is full or the wash basin's empty, that these are filled up and cleaned out respectively as and when needed before other priorities are taken care of. I only have one toilet and one wash basin, so I need to make sure it's clean at all times, because if 3 people are sharing that, and that's, yeah, it's got 5 days use, so if that's full, they're gonna just pee or poo on the floor, and that's germs spreading all over again. You might have noticed that our first achievement has been reached. This is our bed and bath. It's pretty cool we can get that on the first cycle. I don't know if people know that, but yeah, that's right there. Now, the early stages of the game are extremely important. We need to plan this out very carefully. As I mentioned, we're going to want to maintain the eco balance that is in place, and we do that with our little doors, which block the critters from traveling between certain places. I'm going to do it like that. We're going to want access there. That'll bring us into those areas. Perfect. I'll also want to get into this spot. These bugs are not where they should be. let's travel over here. No, that won't reach. I want to try and do minimal effort. We don't want to spend a lot of time building all kinds of fancy things that we'll just end up destroying later on. So let's do that, and I'll just put down a couple of ladders. One there, one there. I'll also get a doorway up right here with the intention of coming to seal off this place. The door here. That should do it for that. Perfect. We'll let them do that so long. They don't have any oxygen generators and we don't have a source of food, but for now that is okay. You see, they start us off with a nice amount of nutrient bars, which nutrient bars, 16,000 kilocalories, is food for 16 meals, and our 3 duplicants eat roughly 3,000 kilocalories a day. Oh, they haven't eaten a meal yet. So we got about 5 days of food, 6 days of food now because of the muck roots we've discovered. You'll find food, seeds, and other weird things in these holes, in these buried cracks when you dig them up. So one of our other priorities early game is to go around digging up all of the little cracks as we explore. I'm being careful not to damage too much of the nature. I want to try and keep most of that. And then we'll also want to harvest the plants as they get ready. Now you'll notice that I'm skipping over one of them. Those are the muckroot plants. They're a one-use meal, but what makes them special is that they don't spoil, unlike any of the other foods that we have for the early game. That means that they can last forever, even in space, which we could even save them all the way till we get to space. Oh, there's no space in this version. My bad. I've been playing DLC so long I forgot there's no space. Cool, so muckroot is just muckroot. It's just food. It's great. I'm going to start setting up more dig commands. As I mentioned, our intention is to explore throughout the starting biome. We want to try and hit as many of the cracked areas as we can. That will allow us to find any extra food sources, as well as, more importantly, the hatches that may be roaming around here. I want at least 10 hatches. We won't be able to dig that, but I mean, we'll get there eventually. For now, it's good. Beds would go to 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, so the last door would be there. Cool, just for future proofing it. When I get a mask-sized room, it should hold 8 of these cots, I believe. And when it's 4 high, I don't want to destroy that now. I can also probably put this down for the little bonus for the room overlay. We can see here. This has got a barracks now because we've got at least a single bed. There's no industrial machinery and it meets the minimum and maximum size. What that means is every day someone uses this place, they get +1 morale. We also have our latrine that just came up. This requires a toilet and a wash station. Make sure there's no industrial machinery and that it's big enough, and every day they'll get +1 morale. If we look at our skills, which we won't have yet, but this shows us that our morale is getting up there. Morale here. Duplicant, New Hope because it's a new game. 2 shift break because they've got 2 shifts break on their schedule. They ate a poor meal so they get -1, and the decor was mediocre. They got +1. Not too worried about morale. That will go up later as we build more cooler rooms. Dig through this. I'm also gonna start setting up priorities. Marco will be our ultimate digger builder. I'll also want these two doing life support and toggling. We don't need doctors, we want tidying. I will have Jesse can do tidying and Claude can do tidying. Cooking, none of you must cook food. You're all pathetic at cooking. No one should decorate, that will save for later on. Operations are important. I want these two to operate. Farming will stay there, ranching is good, building, digging, storing will leave as is, and we do want to make sure we've got our enable proximity set so that they focus on things based on priority. I want to put the priorities on the doors higher to make sure that it happens faster than all the other stuff we're doing. And as you can see, our food's growing. We discovered a lot of muckroot. There's still lots more. We've also got a couple of hatches have been found. Let them roam. Now food priority has been set to 7. I want to make sure that we store all the food there, because these hatches, as good as they are, can eat our food. Barbecue, meal lice, muckroot, they can eat it and turn it into coal. Coal's great for coal generators, but as we can't use them for many cycles, I don't want hatches eating my food, turning it into black dirt that I can't use. So we make sure that on a high priority, that food gets stored. Look at him go. Alright, I'm going to slow it down. We're also going to want to explore a little bit more. Let's see where we can dig in. Oh, shucks. I should have seen that coming. Put that on priority 8. Get in there quick, guys. Also use this opportunity to set that up and sort of dig like that first and then come down. Hit that. Take that with you. Take that. Yeah, man. That can be there. That'll fall. That'll stay. That's perfectly fine. We'll grab those two and snap there. There we go. Through to that point. Hit those two spots. Consider popping down here. Yeah, that gives us all of that. Let's shoot through there. I can grab that there. That's great. We'll also close up over here and then use that opportunity. Dive in here, grab that, into this biome that's harvestable, and pop that there. Cool. Now this will take some time. We have explored a large part of the map that side. Our slime biome, which we'll need to break through. There's some chlorine there. We have a geyser of some kind. Now I'm gonna do it because like, nah. But you can do this and see what it is. If you create a yellow alert priority on a geyser, it actually tells you what your priorities are here, and it explains to us that this is a volcano which we're not going to use for some time. I can chill. Some chlorine down here. Alright, and these guys must just keep on at it. Over here, we'll want to dig in from this side. Actually, I'm gonna leave those two layers. My bad. Okay, we'll dig through there, steal that. That'll fall down anyway, it's okay. Come through here, get that, carry on. There. Boom. We can also then put a door down over here. Take that with us. Cut in for these. Boom. Yeah, that's good. I guess we'll also want to continue further up here and then tap into this there. That's pretty good. We also now, every 3 days you get to print a duplicate, so, or a resource. So let's see what we've got. -3, so he comes to -9, and that's okay. 9 is fine. Can't dig, but I have a digger. I don't have an operator. We do have a rancher though. Then I think we're gonna take this this Earl here. We're gonna take this Earl into the colony. Welcome. When a duplicate joins, we need to give them a bed. And it's very important that we start getting people on different schedules, because these oaks are sharing one bathroom, and although they could have done it on this previous schedule, with 4 people they won't be able to. So it's extremely important that we change it. I'm going to keep the 2 settings, the 2 slots for downtime, the 2 downtime slots in place, and we're just going to adjust everything a little bit so that they work sort of similar times. That gap's good enough though. I'll also just increase the bathroom size here. Igneous rock. If that was granite, I'd change to granite, because granite's got a better decorative property, but we haven't dug through it yet because we don't have the digging skill quite yet. Earl, welcome to the operating life. You will be our priority operator. My researcher can drop from operating. No, in fact, leave that there. You can prioritize farming, and I believe toggling should become one of your duties, and life support, so that my researcher can get free from that and add a bit of digging into the research situation. Cool. And that leaves me happy. One other thing I suppose we'll get him to do, storing and supplying for now. You'll notice this guy here wasting his time disinfecting an outhouse that, even though it might make him dirty, he'd be clean as soon as he walks past the basin again. So I disable those. They don't need to disinfect the stuff. We've got basins for that. Yeah, we'll just let them run for a little bit, let them do their thing. You notice the hatches running around down there? At night time they come out to roam and feed, and during the day, if it's a natural tile, they'll burrow themselves back into that natural tile and sleep during the day. So when we do ranching, you actually build these tiles underneath on the floor that they're going to run on, so they can't burrow into it, which helps for during the day when you're trying to groom them and they're trying to sleep. You also notice we're up to 49.3 thousand kilocalories of food. That's all the muck root we've been finding as we explore, as well as just the plants we've been harvesting as they get ready to harvest. Some progress is being made. I have lost the shine bug, but that's okay. They're safe where they are. They can just chill like that. Later on we'll get the ability to transfer them between places. For now, he's safe. As long as he doesn't come around messing with my people here. I'll also want to set open our doors, because every time they have to open a door, that actually takes them a few seconds, and we want to limit I can't do that there because this bug will escape. We want to limit the time they waste opening doors, you know. So any door that's not to keep a bug in specifically could be opened. Doors are mainly just used to block off the room so that you can maintain your room overlays. We're up to 55,000 and counting. So we've also got our thingy done here. I'm gonna want to explore further. That's fine. We're gonna want that and that. If I do that, we'll come down. Let's get this stuff here. Oh, not that stuff. Get back. That happens sometimes. If you're lucky enough to still be holding in your click when it does happen, like that, you can just right click and it'll disappear. It is a bug. I thought they fixed it at one point, but it seems to be back for some reason. Alright. This is all progressing very nicely. 60,000. So that's food for 15 days. 15 cycles. So we know we're safe until cycle 19. So we don't need to make any food until cycle 19. That's great. Oxygen levels in the base are still decent. However, this is our carbon sink at the moment. We're going to want to drop that carbon sink. So I'm thinking we're going to want to drop it here maybe. Boom. Down like that. And we'll give it some airflow space next to the ladder. And this is a perfect opportunity to then also pile into whatever cracks might be around. Get them cracks, get all the cracks, not a crack left unexposed. Pop through here just to reach that one. Perfect. This is up, we can now get that set to the right priority, the right direction. Perfect. As we near the end of cycle 4, 60,000 kilocalories. Where's that nifty plant overlay tool? The leaf. Well, food's getting ready to harvest, There we go, that's good. Nice, we are growing food, guys. We are growing illegally. We're having immigrants, we're having the natives grow the food for us. Look at this. Slave labor at its finest. We don't even feed them, they just like run around all day shining. Sorry, I'm completely against slave labor. We'll put down some decoration labor later, make it into like beautiful nature reserves for them. And then they'll have the prime spots. It'll become sanctuaries, protected sanctuaries, you know. Another hatch, love it. And learning skills and attributes increase. Jesse, attribute +1 to athletics. Yeah, that's good. Run fast, run Forest, run. Okay, that's a good chlorine biome. So you'll notice our starting biome has this this ring around it. This is a ring of granite and igneous rock. We can't dig through the granite because it's really hard. You need tier 1 digging to get through that, and that lines our entire starting biome pretty much. There are places sometimes when you're fortunate enough, when you get a break, like here, we could dig in here, get straight into the slime biome. Couldn't anywhere else, but you can there. Oops, let's not go overboard like that. Chill, my dude, chill. Should be a ladder up here. That's gonna be there, pop there. Oops, I'm gonna need another ladder here. Actually, that one there. I'm gonna wanna get this and that. We're gonna wanna get this and that. Yummy! All this free food stuffs. The sand over here will fall, so I'll prepare for that by putting ladders down. Et voila! We can grab that there as well as that in there. This, I'm gonna come down here and run over to there. Grab that. This we can push through. I also need a ladder here to jump up there. Boom. All them cracks. Alrighty. Drop some sand there. I'll just keep it running. You notice we're up to 64,000. That's good. We do not have skills yet. No skills yet. How far are we, guys? 27, 28, 27. Not far. We'll get there soon, soon. Now at this stage, because we're starting to hit the edges of our biome, as you noticed earlier, I explored this one. We want to see what else comes into view, and if there's any cool gravitars we might want to catch, or any other cool geysers we might want to look into. Sadly, that seems to be it for now, but we'll keep an eye out as we progress. So, you know, I mentioned earlier that like it's kind of tricky when these bugs get stuck in a room. If this happened to be like our bedroom and these guys can't sleep, then that becomes a problem. Oftentimes people just kill them. What I like to do is box them in a room, and then what you do is when they lay this egg, you can then set one of your storage boxes to sweep only for this egg. So I could create a box here, and there. I want to change this up like that, and then the reason why I'm doing that is I can then come and put a door here. Nope, I can't. I can put a door here like that. Perfect. And then make this into another little biome. I see there's 2 little bristle blossoms. If I popped one of the eggs in there, that would keep it going. Although mind, these things have a life cycle of 25 years, and during that they'll lay 1 egg. So if I take the egg out of here, there will be no more light in your future generations. So you gotta be careful which egg you take. If I take the egg out of here, essentially I'd be moving this bug in egg form to over there. We'll want to set this up. Sweep only, critter egg, shine nymph. And our skills have arrived. Marco, our digger. We're gonna break through these boundaries, my dude. There we go. Break through that boundary. Show us how it's done. Sand, oh sand, oh sand. Alrighty. You'll notice we've kind of explored almost the entire starting biome. We're up to 71,000 kilocalories. We're just gonna keep pushing for a little bit more, because I mean we can. No harm in that. Some oxygen in here, that's cool. Someone's trapped. Someone saved themselves, untrapped themselves. More skill points, yay. They're learning tricks. A researcher up and ready, and you are a rancher, so we have to start you on farming until we can get you in there. Okay, so you'll notice we are taking it very slow, and that's because we don't need to rush into anything. All these guys need is food and oxygen, but hey, oxygen levels are starting to drop, so that's a simple fix. We're going to create our first miniature power spine. Where shall we do it? Okay, if beds and stuff are here, I'm gonna columnize this into living quarters, which means this space will be reserved for research, farming, power spine. Yeah, let's do it there. So what I'm gonna do is officially start laying the groundworks for our power spine. Ooh, I need to hang on here. This is gonna be farming land. Farming land is usually 96 tiles, which we'd want. That much. Add 2 spaces for the doors, add 1 for the hatch trick that I utilize, and then we come here. So here I'd make a ladder access. Making sure that I keep that shine bug in there. That is all priority 7, so it should be done at high priority. We got a new printable. Ooh, the food. I want food. Mouth breather is pretty crap. Yeah, food is an interesting thing. You can technically make way too much food and it'll spoil and go off, but oxygen's not so easy. Yeah, it's funny, but like, no, I hate mouth breathers. Okay, I don't need any duplicates. I do want food. Food is the name of the game, and it's fine if we're keeping our duplicate numbers low at present. We're still exploring. Cool, let's keep pushing. We're gonna create a power spine, so our farms will come up to about this point. I'm gonna create a cool drop off area there, which will fall through maybe to here. So let's measure this out quick. That would be the size of a room plus 2 doors. Oh wait, let's do it here, sorry. That would be the size of a room plus 2 doors. Boom. And that room happens to be our power spine room. I'm gonna have 2 wheels, which means that they'll run quickly, fill up all the batteries. I also want to bring the cable through to the... So I did that on purpose so that you can see. I've been trying to do it the whole time. I was trying to build my cable as the cycle changed. See, I'm still building my cable, and it went and spread it over the map. I can't move now. All you need to do, right click, disappears. All done. Bring this to, I believe it goes there. Let's just make sure. Perfect. And our first buildings go up for the industry. Some power generators, these batteries, 3 of them, that's good. I do 3 because 3 allows you to pretty much charge them up in the morning and then have your batteries last throughout the day doing what needs to be done, you know? Also put this down over here. I mean, this is what we're doing it for, isn't it? Oxygen levels are depleting. Hang on, we can of course dig open here and get this little bubble of oxygen to pop through for us, but I will need to make sure that this gets blocked off ASAP. Oh no, you don't! Stay in there, Mr. Shinebug. No, no, yes, yes. Okay, I think it'll be safe. gosh, if you guys could just build it. Cool. Thanks, Marco. Thank you, my dude. Shine bug safe. Oxygen levels. That helped a little bit. It spread a bit of air through the base. That's fine. And we were cutting it a little bit close, but I just wanted to show you how far you can go utilizing only your starting resources. I mean, oxygen, there's still a bit more there. If we had managed to push through and not prioritize this, that would have kicked us in for like maybe another day, probably, you know, but that's cool. Cycle 7. This, let me just disable it for this moment, because if he starts running without this wire being built, that power goes nowhere, and I want it to go into my batteries. We'll do the same here. We should just be patient. It's happening. Just trust the process, they say. I think that we've started digging into, yes we have. We've started digging into the granite. So what I like to do is use that opportunity to switch over my outhouse and wash basin into, from sandstone into granite, which has a slightly better, no that's not granite, which has a slightly better decor value. Interesting enough. Plus 20% in fact. The world is progressing forward. Okay, I can actually enable this now because the wire to the batteries are set. Even though we don't have it here, that's okay, it'll be built shortly. I also don't need these doors closed, they can be opened. I want free access into this area. And there we go, we have charge. Come on guys, you can do it. Let's get these cables up and running. So our oxygen, which is getting there. Are they breathing low oxygen levels? They are. Low oxygen. Alright. That lonely crack there. It's alright, dude. We'll let you stay. Finally, we get to do some research. Now, all achievement run means we have very specific parameters to reach. So I'm going to go straight for what we're going for. Because we need a full food diet, our priority is ranching. So we're going to research straight into ranching. As well as core out our first ranch area. I believe this would be a good spot for a ranch spot. To start off, let's do the floor here. Core out just the entrance of the ranch, which will have 2 doors, and the end of the entrance I will make here. And we do this little setup. What this does for us is enable it so that the critters can't jump out of their holding area into the larger area of their ranch, which means that when I've got my grooming station up just now and they're coming to groom, the critters don't have to run from all the way this side of the building to over here just to get groomed. So it speeds up the grooming process. You'll see that in action later when we do it. I'm also going to want 2 bins here. The floor we can carry through. I guess we're going to chance it. Over here would naturally need to be a doorway, and this would be in the way. Also take out the floor here, as well as add in that piece there. This I wanted a priority of 6. This will wanted a priority of 7. Cool. Our bathrooms are built. Set the directions to the right. So let's give them priority 8. Who's gonna build this? Come on guys, build it. Cool. Look at Jesse, learning the ancient arts of supercomputers. Okay, I'm also going to start coring out an area where we'll set up our kitchen space. We'll do that. Now you'll notice I'm digging this slime without a care for my life. No, I'm lying to you. We care for life. We're not going to dig the slime. If I'm to dig that, they're going to get slime on their hands. And unless they go straight into the bathroom, they can touch things, and that slime lung will spread. And it's a terrible disease to get into your colony. Ugh, slime lung. Our first hatch eggs are arriving. Cycle 9. It's still 7. Really like to capture this bug, but quite frankly, it's not a problem. We'll soon be able to move them as needed. Alrighty. We'll see our heat producing items way over here are chilling. We've got unfortunately this here for now, but we'll move the oxygen production out of the base a little bit later on. With that, our first research has been complete. I'm going to jump from here quickly into this one, and then prepare the floor here. We're gonna put down a food item, the microbe musher. The mush bars that we'll make take dirt, so I want a storage area for that. We're gonna put our grilling area up here. Don't worry about that one there. Grilling area. And then I'll do food storage here. Food storage, we'll make a little pit as such. Give them a little entrance over here, over there. I'm gonna want to build that, but ensure that the water doesn't leak out. So we'll prioritize this, and I do need to make sure that my building priority is dropped down to 5 again, because otherwise they're not going to do things the way we want. Our printing pod is activated. Wow, all of those reds under the farmer. I would almost want to take this 14 agriculture farmer that has a 70% harvest speed and a 40% seed chance. Wow. But truth be told, I don't know about all of this. Farming, digging, supplying, allergic to floral scent. So if they're growing bristleberries that release the floral scents, they get sick. That's not great. We will take the fertilizer, which means we'll get 3,000 kilos and won't need to make fertilizer for a while. Which, I mean, you use fertilizers once you have your farmlands up and running. When you build a greenhouse and you use the farm station to increase the speed that your bristle blossoms, or mealwoods don't work like that, but bristle blossoms as well as any other growing plants, bench of pepper nuts, balm lilies, I think. I'm actually not sure about that one, but it increases the plant's life speed. If you take a look at them, a wild plant like bristle blossom takes 24 cycles to grow, but if you domesticate it, it takes 6 cycles. Now, when you use fertilizer and the farm station, that actually goes up 50%, so it would become 3 cycles. So we'd have plants growing at 3 cycles per plant for food, which is tremendously fast. Unfortunately, we can't do plants for many cycles. Actually, I am ignoring one of the most important rules, is always travel through tiles where you can to avoid the decor debuffs. Actually, I don't need a door there, but I do need one tile. That's dropped. I'll be able to come into there and maybe just cancel that first. So when he comes and he digs, if he tries to dig this and the water needs to flow in, there's still something blocking it here. So I'll be able to corner build this tile and then put the ladder down afterwards. Same as this when I close it off, so that the water doesn't run into our food storage, which will be cored out like that. We have researched it, so I know we're going to be wanting to put that there. And can I prioritize this sort of thing? Now that it's dug out, we know that this bin is going to be for our dirt. Priority 4. And our microbe musher, priority 6. Well, it is a microbe musher. All of these cool things we can make. Not going to worry about it now because we do have 72,000 kilocalories of muckroot, and as we don't go to space in this version, food is food. I'm not too worried about it. We can, however, get back into our ranching research, and that we'll do immediately. Anything else cool that we want to use right now? Not yet. They won't get down here. Get down there. Boom. Sweep that. I've got a bin set up over here. Is this where we want it? Yeah, sure, why not? It's better than in here where it does nothing. Cool, and we're moving forward. Cycle 10. 73 kilocalories of food. Oxygen levels are stabilizing. We should probably create a bit more airflow here. Are there any plants here? There is something. A muckroot buried there. Alrighty. This box here we're gonna use for the food for the critters. The critters eat sandstone. Priority 5 is good on that. This will be for our sweep all command. Mind, we actually built this pretty good. Oftentimes you'll find a whole bunch of debris on the floor, and you only want your hatches to eat sandstone unless you're specifically breeding them for another purpose. But for now, we got plenty sandstone. We could feed them sedimentary rock or dirt to change them into other things, but sandstone isn't as valuable as dirt and algae and sedimentary rock and these things. Sedimentary rock is not extremely valuable. It's found in these swamp biomes. There it is. It's great for making stone hatches, but we'll see if we even need it. Chances are we won't. We're going to store all of our food here and no longer here. So as soon as it's empty, I can deconstruct that, and we'll put up our supercomputer right next to the printing pod, where it'll get the other side benefit of lit workspace. And as you can see, lit workspace gives you a 15% speed, which is great. They work faster. We are able to put up mess tables. if we can but find a position for it. Maybe here for now. I mean, it doesn't have to be permanent. No, it doesn't have to be permanent. We're gonna just put down a water cooler, 4 mess tables, so they get their food and they can eat there. That'll be cool. That's cool. So when the duplicants have to jump, they actually stop running for a second to make that jump. So if you fill up the gaps with tiles, that means that they don't stop for that second to jump. It's very useful until later on when we're going to need the space for our sliding poles. Then we can deconstruct it, but for now it's perfect to keep it like that. The 3 tile space helps for airflow as well, so that as this generates, it will spread nicely through the base. Hopefully soon. We don't have airflow tiles yet, but it's not important, and we're good. I'm going to set up another diffuser down here, and that'll help spread the carbon dioxide down to push it into our what will become our carbon sink. The door here can go in. Put that down. How big is this room? 171. I can remove that, it's no longer necessary. Okay, that's been corner built, so we can finish up our ladder here. Let the corner build that before we build this tile, otherwise the water would seep in. Cool. Alright, I think guys, that's it for today. This is a great starting colony. We'll pick it up soon again. I hope that you've enjoyed what you see. I hope it makes sense. Maybe you picked up a couple of tricks, tips. If there's anything else you'd like to know, feel free to send me an email. I'd love to hear about any questions you may have. And yeah, let me know if you're enjoying the series so far. I hope that we get to take this very, very far. Let's say 1,000 cycles. You guys up for that? Or at least let's get to space and like do something crazy, you know? Cool. Alright guys, thank you very much. Have a good day. Bye.